Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall. Booze and Booze Octoberfiesta Fair at Newport Mall. Come, sit around the table, and celebrate with us until October 24th at the Plaza, Newport Mall.
Hi, good evening, everybody who's watching us live here at the MNL Beerfest 2021. I'm sure this is the night that most of you who misses the Octoberfest feeling, you're going to get your craft beer fest. As you know, this is a virtual celebration of Resorts World Manila's Octoberfiesta, and I'm sure, like what I said, for those who's missing the Oktoberfest feel, wherein we gather in a venue where you guys can see a lot of like free flowing craft beers, wherein you can taste all coming from different brewers in different places of the Philippines, like 80 brewers at a minimum, and you can try different craft beers all in one evening. Syempre, nakakamiss naman talaga yan. And indeed, since it's pandemic, we try our best to bring the same experience, although virtually, but that's okay because we like to give you this craft beer cravings a fix for tonight. And as today, October 16, let's give it a try that we experience this Oktoberfest or Oktoberfiesta feeling together with those friends of us who are watching on live, our audience who will like engage with us, join us in this virtual inuman that is happening later on. Okay. Brought to you by entire experience is actually brought to you by Newport Mall's Chill and Thrill campaign for the month of October. My name is Cherry Sakulo Hinato. I'm the event festival for MNL Beerfest, and I will also be your host for tonight's virtual show. Before I actually introduce my co-host tonight, those who are first time watching or knowing or joining us in a MNL Beer Fest or on an Octoberfiesta event, I'd like to share some pictures of our past events. Kasi, it, syempre, yung iba sa atin, hindi naman talaga familiar on what is craft beer or MNL Beer Fest or October Fiesta. And since we can't invite you on a face-to-face festival, here are some of the pictures that we have 2 years ago. This was held at the plaza at the Newport Mall in Newport City. And during this time, we have about 80 local brewers who participated, offering all their beer styles to our what do you call this, the customers or the craft beer community. So if you see there, some you maybe those who know them, you guys can we will meet them later, and those who are probably first time or like not so much aware of what craft beer drinking or what the craft beer industry is about, tonight is a good time for you to get to know us or to get to know the community. Okay, I guess I need some help with my co-host already. I'd like to introduce to you. He is the president of the Craft Beer Association of the Philippines. He's also my partner in all the festivals that we mount. Not just only for the month of October, but we do several craft beer festivals all throughout the year. So I'll introduce to you. Please bring him on screen. Hi, June.
Hello, how are you, Cherry?
Hi, long time no see.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
pasensya.
currently, yeah, I'm currently here in my brewery in San Juan.
Yeah, Il Depositor, right. At the
Yes.
same time, June, I was just making an introduction about you earlier. I said that you are the president of CBAP, which is Craft Beer Association of the Philippines, and you're helping me out here tonight in this October Fiesta virtual celebration of ours, which is MNL Beer Fest, to para malaman or para ma-engage natin yung mga first timers or people who is not so much familiar on craft beer drinking, and of course, we can give the same virtual experience to those who have missed us. You know, we have certain followers for the past years, and syempre, what can we do? It's either there's liquor ban, we cannot sell alcohol, or we cannot serve alcohol. But today, it's good na some there are some viewers who manage to grab their craft beers online. They have purchased that one so that makakapag-participate sila in our show, in our program for tonight. So June, um, just a little background for those who are watching to us. Let's tell them, let's excite them what's happening tonight. So ikaw na dito sa part na to. We have panelists, right?
Yes, actually, we have one, two, three guests
Mm-hmm.
from different. Okay, it's actually from different. Like two brewers, and then one is from our distributors actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
do I have to tell them who are they now, or surprise pa natin sila mamaya?
Then, we of course, let's bring in first the distributor kasi later mas detailed na tayo dun sa brewer. The distributor, when you say distributor, guys, is the this group or this company is responsible and bringing in all the beers that you can think of, right? So
That's right.
kasi sometimes maybe yung iba, they're only familiar with one or a couple of few brewers, but if you go to a brewery, sorry, when you go to a distributor, the distributor brings in a lot of the brewers, so you get to select and you get to
Yes.
familiar them.
So basically, they carry most of the local craft beers here in the. I mean, because karamihan, most of them knows the big brands like Encanto, Crazy Carabao. but actually there's more like smaller breweries which they are carrying. So I think let's get the audience get excited.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, as June was mentioning, guys, we invited the distributor for most of the craft who carries most of the craft beer brands. So let's bring her in. Hi, Jaisal.
Hi, Cherry. Hi,
Yeah,
June.
great ka muna. Of course, from the Philippine Craft Kings, PCK, more popular
Yeah.
called as PCK. Okay.
Yes.
So, Jason, I know you were in the backstage and you were just talking about like you guys carry most of the brands of craft beers, 'di ba?
Yes,
So,
that's
tell
correct.
us naman, kasi our audience, people who are watching us, it's mostly the general audience. Unlike like what I briefed you guys earlier, unlike the usual streams or shows that you do on your respective craft beer community, mga magagaling na sa mga craft beers yan. So ngayon, meron tayong mga new audience na talagang either they are just interested about being craft beer and or we're giving them a different Oktoberfest experience, which is getting to know the local craft beers of the Philippines. So,
Yeah.
sige, tell us more about PCK.
Well, in terms of the Philippine Craft Kings, we started distributing local craft beers around 8 years ago. And since that time, we've seen the industry grow from 8 brewers to 20 brewers to now 50 brewers. So, what we try to do is we try to get as many people interested and excited about all the local craft beers that are available here in the Philippines. Because a lot of them are really very talented. You can find a lot of them in almost every major city or province all around the Philippines. And since we started the business 8 years ago, a lot of them have really, upped their game in terms of the flavors that they make, the beer styles that they have. And so, if you haven't tried local craft beer yet, now's your chance. And I hope that after tonight, you guys will order, from any of the local craft beer brewers websites, and yeah, experience craft beer for yourself, because that's really the easiest way that you'll be able to enjoy craft beers. If you try it yourself, you drink it yourself, and enjoy it.
Right. You just mentioned about craft beer experience. As we go along in this show tonight, there will be a craft beer experience as part of our program. So we will try to have a sip on few of those craft beers and explain the differences of those beer styles. Right, June? Actually, it was June who is responsible why I ended up knowing how to explain beer styles. Thanks to
Good job,
June.
June.
Ah, thanks to June. Guys who are watching, tingnan nyo naman, di ba? June being the president, I'm a host, I'm a lady, and then the distributor is a lady also. So parang women empowerment to, di ba?
Well,
Women are
of
drinking craft
course,
beers.
I think yung ano naman, we have two like very good looking gentlemen later on who are joining us.
Okay.
And I think this, I mean, this industry is usually dominated by men, but don't get me wrong, there are other like women brewers here in the Philippines as well.
I
Yes,
know,
that's true.
actually, that's
Yes.
true. That's just so true about and in terms of preference, if your palate is new to it, parang isipin mo beer is bitter. But eventually when you are a craft beer drinker, you will know the difference on these craft beers. I per se, I'm a wine drinker myself I mean I love wine or as a kumbaga yun talaga ang favorite ko. Until later on, there's like craft beer is also a thing for me because of June. Di ba? Natutuwa ko dahil kay June. All right. Before do you guys wanna bring in our two other like what I said? Ay, June for the internet connection of June is probably not. So we're gonna hold on to him. We need him. Okay. Anyway, he'll be back shortly. So we are going to talk about like the industry per se, the beer experience, like that. So I am two of the people or two of the brewers who we invited to join tonight. They are of course Jazel and June and Mai. They're friends of ours, and there is a majority of those who have I invited to watch in this show who knows him very well also because and that is the master brewer of Boondocks Brewery, the guy responsible for the creation of our Hyunbin beer. Hi, Fred.
Hi guys, good evening.
Yeah, isi-segue ko yun talaga because we have many friends from the Hyunbin fan club who is watching and supporting us tonight, and they know you already since last year. So, Fred,
Yeah, hi guys. Hi everyone.
greet muna everybody, yeah. From Boondocks Brewing, and we can bring in also another friend of ours, another brewer. Hi, from the Katipunan Craft Ales. Hi, Kiyo.
Hello, guys.
Yes. Okay.
Good evening.
Um. Oh, there, June is back.
Yan na si June. Hi
Ganito
Candy.
talaga ang virtual. Masanay na kayo. It will turn out to be as
Hi
casual
Irene.
as a virtual inuman. Since everybody is complete and before mawala tayo dyan, mag-ano tayo remind me later, mag-screenshot tayo na magkakasama tayo para may evidence tayo na nagkaroon tayo ng virtual gathering.
Sandali lang,
Okay.
Cherry. I'm gonna cut you off. Hi, Binions.
Yeah.
Oh, may special mention ka. Okay, hi Binions daw, right?
You
Okay.
know.
Mm-mm. Si
Ang
Fred,
daming
okay.
fan,
Madaming
ang
fan
daming
si
fan
Fred.
ni Fred.
Madaming fan ni Fred.
Hindi,
Kasi
hindi, they're not fans of me. They're fans of that beer.
but nonetheless, they already know you. They talk about the Hyunbin beer even after the Hyunbin party. Well, um, anyway, as we like we're all complete here. Now, let's talk about the industry of craft beer. Para tayong informative muna. Like let's try to inform everybody what's the difference of craft beer compared to the commercial or industrial beer that was more known to some of the consumers. Who'd like to answer that one? Okay. Online school.
No, okay. Well,
Online learning. Go ahead, June.
all right. So basically, the main difference of craft beer is we craft beer offers like variety of flavors or styles in the beer. So if the commercial beer offers like light lager, craft beer offers a wide range of styles. So from a basic pale ale or even lager to a darker beer, which is stout, like porter, stout, and so on and so forth. There are actually right now we are like over 200 different styles of beer, and most of us like Filipino, ang alam lang natin is one style, but actually in the beer world there are actually over 100 beer styles out there. So most probably, as what I always say, there'll be one beer that will fit your preference or your taste. Right, guys?
Galing mo talaga
I
sumagot,
like
June.
I like the
Yes.
way you put it. Okay, student
Kaya ikaw
number one.
presidente eh.
Kaya siya ang presidente kasi he puts it in a very clear messaging na which is I agree with that one, right?
So
Like
I also just want to add to what June said. So the thing about craft beer versus the beer that the different kinds of beers from the mega breweries that we all kind of grew up with is that beyond the sheer variety or yung mga iba-ibang klaseng mga craft beers that are available, um, ano talaga it's very much an art form. Brewers, individual brewers who put their heart and souls into brewing the different kinds of beer styles that they enjoy drinking, so that other people can enjoy drinking what brewers have been providing. It's really the focus of craft brewers to provide more options to more people, so that more people get to love more beer.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the biggest difference for me of commercial and craft beer is really what's in craft beer. It's the fact that, yeah, like, Sinabundok, Sinakatipunan, it's made out of 100% pure hops, malt, yeast, and water. It doesn't have any rice, corn, adjunct ingredients. So it doesn't have any of the extenders that commercial beers have, and that's why they end up tasting as great as they do.
I guess I'll add something then. Get left out. I think an important thing, a differentiator then is the size of the company. More often than not, craft brewery is far smaller than the well-known commercial breweries. So we operate at a smaller scale. Ibig sabihin, when we operate, we have like 10 people on the team, 20. So it's a small group and people really pay attention to what they're doing. So it's really made with care. And there's real hands on the ground making these beers. Yan lang,
Yeah.
boss.
That's so those who are not familiar with craft beer drinking or craft beer per se, I'm sure that's when I was first oriented by June, like 2 3 years ago, I couldn't believe that there are over 80 brewers during that time. Parang with you're referring to the size of the brewer, you're referring to those who are home brewers. Sometimes they only do it out of enthusiasm. Parang they brew beers and then they serve it to their friends. They're not really offering it as to like a commercial quantity. So, parang pag ni-request mo, I wanted beers to taste a little like chocolatey. I want the beers to taste like citrus. I want the beers to be like this. All of those things are possible because it's like a work of art. Those beers are created like if it was a work of art, right? So,
Yes. I
Gaiji, you
mean,
want to add to that one?
no, and I mean that's true. Like and usually the beer that the brewers offer is based on their expression, like what they want, maybe what they feel for that night while they're brewing it, right? So
Uh,
if they're happy, maybe they will make a very light and fruity beer blend. So kung bad trip naman, medyo like strong and dark. It depends on the mood. Like iba-iba, different brewers they do
i-mute mo yung
different beer styles.
correct, correct. That's why it's called beer styles. Now, styles, I don't know kung na-mention kanina, i-highlight ko lang. There are like over 500 styles. Kasi if one brewer brews like 4 or 5 styles and there's like 80 of them. So you just do the math there. So that's how we do our festivals in the past. Like one brewer can actually offer like 4 to 5 styles and you can go from one brewer to another, to the next, to the next, to the next, and they let you taste all those beers. 'Di ba? Gano'n yung ginagawa natin. Nakaka-miss din 'yun, eh. But hopefully, God willingly, when this pandemic is over, we can do that again. Okay? Speaking of pandemic, how did it affected the beer consumption and probably like did it kasi they're like parang hati eh. Some people say that people started to do home drinking or started to load up because they consume the beers at home. But some naman, but obviously the beers that are consumed on like restaurant outlets, medyo nawala yun, right? So maybe Jazel, kasi Jazel is the one who distributes to most of the tap houses. We call those places that serves beer as tap houses. Kasi baka hindi familiar yung mga nagnonood sa atin. So, how did it affect?
Um, but I'm glad because, like, seeing the audience now, a lot of people are experiencing craft beers in their homes. And I think that despite the pandemic happening, and obviously, everybody in the restaurant, bar, and casino industry has been hard hit, one of the things that came out of the pandemic, which was good, is that because people are drinking at home, they're craving for a different experience all the time. So, especially like now that a lot of people have access to information and researching these breweries online, a lot of them are actually trying craft beer more rather
Mm.
than, just sticking to what they regularly drink. which is really great because when people are drinking at home, they want that constant experience that they miss when they go out, when they drink in bars. And I think that now more than ever, people are learning about craft beer because they're researching about it, they're seeing all these breweries, and they're drinking at home, and they're seeing that the experience is way more fun when you're drinking local craft.
Speaking of getting more known, in fact, June opened his El Deposito during pandemic.
Yeah.
Diba? So, I
Yeah,
was
that's
kind of so, super bilib ako
like
sa'yo, June, when you told me
Got
that he's
guts.
opening that. I go like, people are closing down. In your case, you're opening up one, diba? Where did you get that guts naman, June, na mag-open ka during the pandemic time?
I think at the end of the day, it's how you manage your expenses or your overhead. Make sure that, I mean, it's on the business side naman. So you really have to make sure that you can manage your overhead and your expenses. So if you can do that and try to get, uh, make it sustainable. That's why like now in the brewery, it's a one-man show. So I'll do the brewing, I'll do the
He's the
serving,
waiter also.
I do the cleaning, I do my social media. I do everything. But
Mm-mm.
I think it is okay because it's hard for me to get somebody and then later on you will get locked down. That I don't have money to pasweldo sa mga tao. So you have to really manage your expenses para for us to survive this pandemic.
Mm.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. My business is doing good. Actually, we're expanding our
Nuts.
business. We're opening additional space behind our brewery now.
You are?
I love it when June claims it like it's doing good, right? Very seldom that you hear people say at this time around that they say that they're doing good. Most of them come very on a negative, like saying they close down, they kind of like downsize. Where's June, diba? That's how they say. That's why there's a reason to celebrate during Octoberfest, right? So, yan yung mga things to celebrate. Wag tayong masyadong mag-isip ng negative. Oh, kaya that's one example. June is just mentioning one. Okay, one of the things that this is my personal question. To those who are watching us, if you have any questions to our panelists, to the brewer, to JSL, to June, please throw those questions so that we'll gladly try to give an answer to those. Okay. Now, June, and to the brewers also. I don't know if I asked this to you, Juna, but the names of the craft beers per se, may it be the brewery's name or the beers itself, they are very unique. So kaya na, where do you think the master brewers get the inspiration on how they name their beers? Right? Ito
Well,
masyado maganda, El Deposito, and then Katipunan Craft Ales, Bundos. Parang you don't normally encounter those words. It's always very unique. Why?
I mean, you have to remember every brand or every brewery has a story behind it. So hindi lang yung basta ginawa like, okay, I name my brand like this, right? So I think Kiyo has its own explanation why they call their brewery Katipudan, and
Katipunan,
it's
yes.
as well as Fred. So maybe let's them
Let's hear them,
ano,
right, guys?
tell
Kiyo.
Kiyo.
I guess for us, I remember when we were trying to figure out our name, we just read a book by Sam Calagione, American brewer for Dogfish Head Ales. And I just remember he said, when you're picking your brewery name, pick something personal to you, something that means something to you. So Katipunan, it's actually just
Katipunan ko ba?
we all live near the area. And
Okay.
then,
Oh,
Hindi
siya,
ka naman
tama
Katipunero.
ako.
no.
Tama
So,
ako. Oo.
originally, yes. Tapos, nag-aaral kami sa UP and Ateneo. So, doon kami nakikita. So, the area meant a lot to us. And then, it's a happy coincidence that we can pay tribute sa Katipuneros, who we respect very highly as, true revolutionaries. So, parang inspired by their revolutionary movement. at the start was to kind of help pave the way for craft beer in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. How many beer styles does Katipunan Craft Ale have?
Right now, we're just kind of restarting. We're relaunching. So right now we have one available. We used to have about four regularly on tap. So we're working on getting back to our regular lineup.
But your beers are both canned and it's available on kegs, right? Draft.
Yes,
Yeah, right. Okay.
cans and kegs.
Yes. How about Fred?
Right.
Boondocks.
Hi everyone. So actually, kind of a similar story to Kio at Katipunan. I think for the most part, most craft brewers really do want to pick something that's personal to them. So boondocks, if you're not aware of the word, is an American English word that actually means the closest to something like probinsya in American
Mountain.
English. Which is it's so boondocks is actually derived from a Philippine word bundok, which
Oh
means
yeah.
mountain, obviously.
Mm.
And so what it is really is it's a word that I embrace because I'm actually a provinciano. I right now I'm actually doing this live stream from Ilocos Norte. I'm here in the province for visiting family for the first time in about a year for a family gathering, and yeah, I embrace my pagka-provinciano by picking a word that is very familiar to the Philippine ear, which is boondocks, but it really doesn't mean what folks think it means, meaning bundok. Like people just think bundok, all these things, but really it's supposed to sound familiar to a wider audience so that more people can embrace what we believe in, and yeah, it's essentially embodies who I am because just like the word bundok is a Philippine word that left the Philippines and then got co-opted by the world and got changed into boondocks. I am from the Philippines, went all over the world, and then came back to the Philippines as to essentially brew beer here in the Philippines. So yeah.
Okay. Does it kailangan ba you learn or you study a certain technical know-how to become a brewer? Like,
Yeah, you
like
do. It's yes.
should take culinary schools. But how about
You
brewers?
know, just like most chefs that are really good, it really starts out by brewing a lot, making a lot of mistakes, learning from your mistakes, and making better beer. I mean, there are. Don't get me wrong. There are formal classes that you can take, that one can take and get a certificate or get a degree. But by and large, it's kind of like how the chef industry. It really depends on the individual technique of the brewer, their palate, their ability to transfer what they believe in their mind is a good tasting beer, brewing it and then offering it to the public and then doing it consistently. So for folks who really want to say like mga brewers hindi naman sila wala naman formal brewing education yan, but when you go through history, most of the great chefs in the world started out as just really loving to cook, and I think Kio and June will probably agree with me on that point.
Yeah, I mean, we got our start really learning from local home brewers. I think sila talaga yung trailblazers hanggang ngayon. Because, they're always curious, they're very passionate, they're willing to try even the things that we aren't able to try now just because restrictions of our operations. So, uh, really starts grassroots with home brewers, keep innovation going, and we just try to keep learning. YouTube, books, meet up over beers to chat about techniques. It's really how we learn.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, June, you wanna add something?
No, I mean, I agree with Keo. Basically, like the home brewers is the one who's more adventurer. So they really try different styles or different flavors of beer. You'll be surprised that some of the home brewers will try ube, langka, saging that you don't na hindi mo ma-imagine that magkakaroon ng ganong klaseng beer or ube or buko pandan, 'di ba? Like the most exotic one that I've tried is
Sile.
from
I think there are sile,
no
right?
Bicol Express beer from Great
Maanghang.
Islands. It's really it
Right,
really
right.
tastes like
I've
Bicol
heard of
Express.
it actually. Yeah. Well, you guys, since we are moving from the industry information, and then and then we have the history about your beer names, and now we're talking about the taste of those beers. I'm able to get few of the beers that were shared to us by PCK, and let's try to. I'm sure you guys have beers there, right? Siyempre, ang beers na yung mga beer nyo talaga. Okay. O si June, bakit katipunan yan? Si El Deposito, asan yung sa'yo, June?
No, okay, we're actually promoting or selling Katipunan beer here in our brewery. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
Mm.
this is the beauty of craft beer industry or our
Oh,
industry.
yeah, the
Where actually
collaborations.
we
Yeah.
try to help everyone in our community. So, like, kung titingnan mo talaga, competitor ko to, but why am I selling this? But because the success of one brewery is a success of the whole industry.
Oh, wow.
Cheers.
That's a very I hope that kind of value is practiced everywhere else. That there's no competition. It's rather better to have collaborations on different industries that we are working on. No? So right, right. So let me decide what I'll be drinking tonight. Kasi parang ang daming binigay na beer sa akin. Okay. But
Lahat lahat inumin mo na lahat 'yan.
I
Chug,
know,
chug,
di ba?
chug.
Well, sige.
Masarap lahat yan. Don't
Masarap lahat. I
worry.
know. Thank you, Jason, for giving me those beer supply. Okay, now we have friends who are since we are the beer, you guys, not me, like you guys are the beer connoisseurs. Let's give tips to those because I'm reading some of the comments here, and the comments are actually just mentioning or giving their thoughts about the beers that they're trying. Perhaps some of them have received beers from us, or some was able to grab from PCK's website because we have promoted Octoberfiesta 2021, that it is a website promotion or a selling promo that if you put that on the PCK, can you flash the PCK site that if the consumers or the buyers, customers wants to buy a beer, they get 10% off when they check out. Is that correct, Jazel? Right. So
Yeah.
that's going until the end of the month. So for those of you who started becoming curious on what our craft beers are, there makikita nyo lahat ng mga beers na available dyan. You can check it out and get 10% discount. Now, some of the and also in Newport City, they have what they call as the chill and thrill booze. In the chill and thrill promo, they have the booze and booze fair, wherein they try to pair food with different sorts of drinks and of course craft beer as well. So they gave me this. This is my first time I've heard of it. Have you guys heard of a beer cupcake? Ikaw, June, narinig ka na ba ng beer cupcake or first time?
Beer cocktails.
Cupcake.
Oh,
This
beer
one, this silver
cupcakes.
song. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have that. I have that also.
Ah,
Lasing ka na.
sorry. Sorry sa the three, mag-watch na lang kayo. Kaya masarap ang virtual matipid.
Well, Sherry, the beauty
Oo.
of craft beer. 'Di ba?
Mm-mm.
Yung iba, alam nila na kailangan either food na or not food, but like meat or fish or chips lang yung pwede mong i-pair
Artista. Oo,
sa
ganyan.
beer. But you can actually pair almost anything. Like, you can pair it with your chocolates. You can pair with cheese, not just wine, di ba? Yung beer, pwede rin i-pair sa cheese or anything, actually. Because of it has so much flavor and styles ng beer, so maybe one of them will fit to that particular food that you're thinking.
Yeah. Fred, we have many Binyans who are watching and they all have the Hyun Bin beer with them and they have drank the Hyun Bin beer. So, baka may iba sa kanila, may nag-home load pa, may stocks pa sila. Ano ba dapat ang binipair dun sa mga beers mo na nasa with them? Diba? You have explain your beer styles and then let's talk about like does it pair like this one is a this is very sweet, I'm sure. It's caramel. It's like a they call this as what's that? Beer cupcake, di ba? So saan ba siya pinipair? This is, by the way, the beer cupcake, since I've heard of it, or if you're curious about that, it's from Sheraton. So the Sheraton booth is there at the Newport City. You can grab that one. And they're only selling it ata for 100 pesos, something like that. So Sheraton Manila Hotel. They have a booth there at the booze. Okay. Okay, go Fred. Explain. Para may nanonood pa sa atin na may Hyundai beer pa dyan.
Sure. Actually, yung beer cupcake na yan. So it's this. I have this. I don't have one in front of me, but I assume it's something sweet.
Caramel,
Actually, yung
yeah.
yeah, for the ones who have yung strong ale namin na 8.5% na it's this Belgian dark strong ale. It
Hmm.
because our beer, that particular beer has some dried fruity undercurrents, and it's kind of like cherry tasting, and it's a little bit malty. It's very malty and comes off as the palate as being sweet, and you really can't drink a lot of it. So unless you really want to get really drunk, so that beer cupcake actually is a good thing to wash down with our strong ale. It really goes
Mm. So
really good with like with it.
if you're taking a sweet parang pulutan or any like that, you have to take like a higher alcohol content, like a
Hin-
higher
no,
ABV.
no, no, not
Not
necessarily,
necessarily.
because you can find different kinds of beer styles that don't have high alcohol percentage, but then tend to be like juicy or hazy or hoppy, or it's really more a matter of matching, trying as much as possible to match with what you are currently drinking. So, say for example, like I'm gonna say something like Katipunan's pale ale, right?
Mm.
If you're eating something like a burger and you need something like really tasty to cut through the grease and the fat of a burger, having a Katipunan pale ale would be really complementary to something like that. I mean, of course, in our brewery for Boondocks, we have something called Session Ale, which is a little bit lighter, but it still has that baseline. Yeah, there it's been what I'm drinking.
Hmm.
Something like that would go with with like a heavier meal. We have two other beer styles. It's a wheat ale, and this other beer that I'm gonna crack open shortly. It's a summer ale. Yung
Hmm.
summer ale naman, it's like it's lighter. So if you have something like a lighter tasting dish, like maybe like a fillet of fish or a fish fillet, something like that. Pwede
Hmm.
naman siya. Same with the wheat beer. So yeah, most other breweries have different beer styles, and it's really a matter of like find finding a brewer, finding a beer that you really like, and then enjoying that for a while, and then when you really understand drinking that beer, move on to other beers from other brewers, because everyone of
Start
us
comparing.
here,
Yeah.
yeah, brews a really good beer, and we're not as say along the lines of what June said earlier. A rising tide carries all boats. So like if one of us is doing well, well,
Mm.
we applaud, and we like to enjoy the success of other brewers, because all it means for the rest of us is like, well, kung masarap magbrew ang Katipunan or Crazy Carabao or El Deposito, then maybe they'll taste something from us too.
Oh, that's true. Katipunan Craft Ale. Kiyo, you mentioned that you guys are focused on one beer style right now. Okay,
Yes.
where is I don't, which among do you think because they're like what I mentioned, Newport City have several hotels there, and they have kanya-kanya silang mga different promos ongoing. So I have right now. What do you think your beer would match best with? Marriott offered, or Marriott has this like promo na they have gingerbread mini. Ito parang ano, mga cookie. Sabi mo nga, it's
Cookies.
cookies, yeah, cookies.
Hmm.
Or
Okay.
pili ka, which one is better? Oh, sorry, nakagat ko na to kanina while waiting. The gingerbread, na talaga namang wala tayong ano, di ba, staging. So the gingerbread mini is from Marriott, and they gave that for us to try. Also this one, okay, I have here. This is a little interesting kasi ano siya. talagang feel na feel mo yung Octoberfiesta. Pero hindi ko nakakainin na kasi ang laki. So like they have the sausages here na sausage roll. Di ba pag Oktoberfest, sikat yan.
Yes.
Parang it's always being ordered. So I'm sure naman you can't go wrong if you match it with a craft beer. Am I correct? Like the sausages,
Yes.
when you match it to the craft
Uh,
beer.
that would be the easiest pairing with something probably more savory like sausage with pastry. When we started, the reason we chose pale ale is historically when the craft beer uh, movement was starting. I think pale ale is what
Safe.
really it's what
We
pushed
can,
the movement back in in the states. People started using hops, so you could argue siya yung the quintessential style that started it. Then after lots of different styles were born. But to your question, probably it's easiest to pair with sausage, burger, anything fried.
mm,
But like Fred said, they're like basic rules for what to pair, light beer with a salad or something, wheat beer with seafood. But personally, to me, the best beer to pair is the beer you like or the beer you have.
oh,
So it's gonna
well,
work somehow.
you know the one that was just recently flashed. Kasi it's I also like pairing it chicken and beer. Siguro yung nag-flash niyan Korean fan. Kasi among
Malamang.
That's
hmm?
excellent pairing.
Cherry.
Among the Korean community. Mm.
Yeah, basically like you can actually pair your beer with any food naman. So
Mm-mm.
ang ano lang is yung what we're trying to say or tell here is preferred pairing with a certain style ng beer. But you can
Yeah.
actually pair your beer with anything that you like to drink. I mean eat
Yeah,
and
yeah.
drink.
Kanya-kanyang trip 'yon kumbaga, they
Yes,
say,
correct.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Kung yung iba nga uminom ng beer tapos nagra-ramen. Okey, 'di ba? Pero yung iba hindi nila
Uy,
kaya yun.
masarap yan, ah.
I
Beer and
I
ramen. Uy, sus.
ah, well, ako hindi ko kaya yun kasi parang bloat na ako no'n by the time na
Try mo na
maubos
lang
ko yung
try mo na lang ang beer with ice cream.
beer with ice cream. Well, I haven't, pero parang hindi ba
No,
parang
here,
maglo-lost
think about
bowel
it.
ka nun?
Hindi, think about it. Think about no. Think about an ice cream float. You have that with root beer, and
Oh yeah, yeah, root beer float. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Makes
but
Hey,
sense.
so try it with a beer. I mean, if you are lactose intolerant, do not, under any circumstances, do that. But if you're
Mm-mm.
not, then feel free. And then instead of having a root beer float, have a beer float.
Yeah, yeah. Makes
Seriously,
sense.
try
Eh.
it. It's
We'll try that
yeah,
one. That's correct. So those are nice tips. So those who are watching us, no, yung iba kasi hindi na nafa-flash. I'm seeing them as it scrolls down. Natatawa
yeah.
lang ako sa
Mary
ibang
Mary Isabel
nagko-comment.
Comba. Yes, beer and ice cream.
Grilled
What I'm
charot. Gusto ko
saying.
din
That's what
yan.
I'm saying.
Alam mo, nakaka-miss ang mga gimmick, no? Kasi when you guys gather and then you are ordering, makikita mo yung trip nung isa, like meron siya talagang favorite na pulutan, di ba? And then you just, since it's virtual right now, nag-iinggitan na lang tayo. We cannot really feast on that, on whatever they're giving. In
Ayan,
fact,
inggitan. Oh, meron akong dalawa. Ayan.
mga inggitan, di ba? There are, I hope the director flashes all there are some offers. So those of you who are having beer cravings at this moment, so we're inviting you to drop by at Newport City, wherein you can find the booth of PCK there. You can either make the arrangements ahead by ordering online and picking it up there. Para you can also visit the booths of Okura, because Okura also have their own Oktoberfest promotions. So they have their beer chows there, the bundles of beer chows. So it's flash there. I don't have to mention it. You just have a look at that one. Get back to see they also probably we will probably flash the respective social media accounts of those outlets so that baka may mga interested kayong puntahan dyan. Hilton also, more of ano naman siya, what are the promos of Hilton? Medyo madami sila. They have classy like the nuts, and then may mga dishes din sila. Yan. Si ano na lang, si direct na lang ang magfa-flash niyan. So there, the Sheraton offer, and then the Marriott, Okura, and Hilton. And of course, the PCK has the wide variety. And meron ding, since it's MNL Beer Festival, not only that the beers are being what is carried during a festival, there are also wines and other liquors that is available on the same sale exhibit or fair, mini fair there at the plaza of Newport Mall. Okay. We were just talking about the beer pairing, and then some of the questions that I discussed with you guys kung ano-ano yung mga beer 101 natin. Anything that you guys want to share more in terms of like tips on drinking, or like, how about, ito, one of the questions pala na some audience are asking, bakit nga ba mahal ang craft beer? Yeah, why is it expensive? Because who wants to answer that? Why is it expensive? And how do we change the notion of people comparing it to what they normally see in the grocery? Yeah? Sino? Who wants to answer that? Parang lahat kayo gusto sumagot ng question na yan.
Okay, can you answer? Ako muna. Like, let me answer that question.
Sige, go.
Okay, why craft beer is expensive? Because craft beer is premium beer. It's a high quality beer. You know, it's and then it's actually made by a small dedicated person who loves their craft. No, seriously. It's a premium product.
Si Jun
It's a premium product, right? So I will not buy or pay a certain amount of money if it's not premium and it's not quality. So it's because it's premium. So every premium product has a equivalent value or price.
Yeah.
Right?
I also have an answer there. Wait. Parang we're excited with this question. All right. So, June, are you done with that? Let's see Fred's version. How will he convince the viewers that why do you have to settle for a craft beer? Why is it more expensive? And why is it worth to buy a craft beer bottle or cup? Go ahead,
So
Fred.
okay, so I'll just add on to what June is saying about something being premium, right? It's funny in other industries when you have a luxury vehicle like say a Mercedes Benz or a BMW, and you compare it to say a Toyota, right? Nobody really thinks it's such a crazy idea that why should I pay more for a BMW when I can pay for a Toyota? Well, it's because you want a BMW. That's I mean there's many reasons why, and I'm sure you all know the reasons why a BMW costs more than a Toyota. It's the same thing for craft beer. And we're not saying that just like I'm sure BMW isn't really saying that don't buy Toyotas. It's saying, well, you can buy a Toyota if you want. We're not going to stop you from doing that. But what we're going to provide you with is something that we believe is a better value for your money because it's a better experience for you. And I think that's what craft brewers are trying to do. And so when hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na puro marketing lang ang BMW or a luxury vehicle or a luxury item. It really is made with better ingredients. It's really made with more care. It's really made with a more pure with
Workmanship.
more pure intent and workmanship. So
Yeah.
so when craft breweries offer a premium product, it's not like we're slapping a marketing tactic on something that's inferior. We're making something that's better, and we're charging more for it. And we're not embarrassed or ashamed to do that because we stand by our products.
And
I
to
rest my
add,
case.
yeah, tsaka to add to
Oo.
what they're saying, I think that you really you get what you pay for. And in nowadays, I enjoy that people are very aware of what they're consuming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're very
Right.
we're very conscious about, the kind of coffee that we drink, the whiskey that we drink, the things that we eat. So in the same way, that the question, like, why is craft beer so expensive, is also for me like a very loose term already, because I think that honestly, like, there are a lot of craft beers that are good, that are quality, that are of a very, very good price point. And then there are, there's a spectrum. So there are, craft beers that are, will fit into your budget, that are, at a good price. And then there's like the more expensive ones, but they
Right.
require a lot more ingredients also. The flavors are more complex, it's more arty, it's more crafty. But at
Mm.
the end of the day, I honestly don't think that there is such a, it's not expensive. I think that you get your bang for your buck, and for the experience, for the flavor, I think that it's worth it. Just like how, you don't want to drink 3-in-1 anymore, diba? You want to have like a
Yeah.
good cup of coffee, so it's kind of the same.
Right. You want to add there, Keo?
Yeah, I'll add just like a boring element. I don't want to discount the fact that economies of scale are at work. So these guys are like 100, maybe 1,000 times or more bigger than most of us. So they can operationally, their costs are really much, much lower. The trade off is, though, that we're so small. It's a more personal experience. We listen to the customers. We brew the things that these big guys wouldn't even consider brewing. And not to say that they don't make good stuff, but sometimes it doesn't make sense to them cost wise to like make dessert shortcake stout or a sour Belgian. They won't do that because it's not marketable. But your local craft brewer, they will do that, and you know, always thinking of bringing you new flavors and new styles to try.
That's true. I was one of my favorite way of putting an analogy there. If you're a drinker and you're so used to the ones that you are getting on the commercial market, uh, you have not matured your palate and your preference in beer drinking. Okay. uh, and um, and if you're used to eating in a fast food, if you are always eating fast food, and then you start eating in a fine dining restaurant, you can tell the difference. So, kasi para, I'm just using the as an ordinary Joe's explanation. Just like most people, pasimple natin. Kumakain ka sa fast food, sanay yung palate mo dyan. Papakainin kita ng 5-star na gawa ng chef. You can tell the difference why mas mahal to, because the flavors there are very very different. And as you mentioned, we listen to the customer, or you guys listen to the customer and give them what they want, right? So, kasi most of them, when they buy beers, one can actually cost between like 150, can go as much as like 300. Am I correct with my pricing? Something like that. And that's a brewer's price. Pag ininom na nila yan sa mga restaurant, it's probably more higher, right? Like it's higher. Sorry, it's higher than the brewer's price. That's why yung mga brewer may mga tap houses. So you consume those beers from the tap house of the brewers para mas okay ang pricing nila. Okay. Um, well, it's just this entire MNL Beer Festival, which we are virtually celebrating here together with PCK, El Deposito, Katipunan Craft Ales, and Boondocks Brewing. Okay, it's also like a way for the five of us to like enjoy drinking. So that's why I asked them, "Uy, may mga beers ba kayo dyan?" Kasi may mga beers tayo, and then 'di ba, when you gather and when you start drinking beer, sometimes we find a reason, or for some it's just part of the habit, or it's just part of their lifestyle. But for those who is finding a reason why we have to celebrate, 'di ba? Let's see things that we can probably think of, why are we celebrating, and we want to give a toast to that one. Kasi may mga um, uh, we know that lately the things that are happening around us, most of them are more of the negative side. So let's think of a way to make it positive naman. Para we share some good positive vibe. Having a toast to people, or having a toast for us to find a reason to celebrate. Let's try to do that, okay? Sige, I'll begin, ha? I'll begin on this part, okay? Kasi, maybe you guys know, natatawa si Fred tsaka si June. Alam kasi nila na fangirl ako. I am a Korean fangirl, and hello to my fellow fangirls who are watching there. I see some of their names that are watching and they're flashing. Okay. Medyo madami sila. Teka, isa-isahin ko. Okay. Ito yung pinaka-trending. I want to give a toast to Kim Son-ho. Hindi niyo alam to. Pakinig na lang kayo, ha? To Kim Son-ho, congratulations to a successful K-drama. The last 2 episodes are about to finish. Maybe you guys know it. Oh, nag-agree si Jazel. You know this. You watch this.
This is Hometown Cha-Cha, right?
Right. Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. Mag-i-end na siya this weekend. There's so many fans who's waiting for that one. I want to give a toast congratulating him for inspiring a lot of Sonho Hadas and making our fangirling life more exciting. Okay? To the Sonho Hadas who are watching, there is one of them who I saw Eric's the one who's represented in Emerson Sarmiento. I hope you're joining us here tonight. So cheers to you guys. You guys here have your beers there. Also, let's have a toast for them.
Sorry, wala akong
Jun,
beer.
kayo.
Tubig lang.
Cheers. Wow, social yung beer ni Jun. Malalasing tayo nito. Meron pa, hindi pa ako tapos. Okay? There's like a number of lists here. Okay. Oh, there he is. Great. And then another one, to the Binions who are watching there, we're always going to love and support our beloved Hyun Bin. So that's because Fred is there. Fred, dapat ikaw ba mag-toast dyan sa mga yan? Kasi puro beers nila yung hawak mo. To the Binions who are watching. And then another one, ito pa. O, kilala niyo to, si Song Joong Ki. Okay, to Song Joong Ki, big boss. Cheers to you, and may you always continue inspiring all the KLs who are watching. Sun Joong Ki is with Kat Baisa, right there, Kat. Hi. And lastly, to the Sukis, taga-Sukis, parang suki, di ba? To the Sukis who are watching from the group of Lee Jung Suk fan club, Sherilyn, yes, hi. So, cheers to Lee Jung Suk also to make our fangirling more exciting. Oh, there. You have to beat that, ha? I have so many. I greeted so many fan clubs there. You have to beat that one. Who's next?
Ano ba sumali sa mga fan club na yan?
Mapagalitan tayo ni Jaime. Kasi baka hindi ka na makausap ni Jaime. Nakatuto ka na sa, nagbi-binge watch ka na. You know, it's really just a segue lang. Fangirling and at the same time doing this. It's like you guys are collaborating among brewers. Fangirls also, they collaborate. Like in our case, I collaborate with them. I collaborate with different. Because bottom line, they're all fangirls. So they're all happy to see their opas in their respective projects, di ba? Iba na ngayon, gano'n na ang fangirling. Wala na nag-aaway dito. Okay, how about sige, Jaisel, you wanna give a toast also? Kanino mo i-offer yung toast mo?
Yeah, so I'd like to give a toast to all the local brewers, to the people within the industry that has been hard hit, the hotels, the restaurants, the casinos, and are still fighting and thriving and finding ways to make the most out of this pandemic.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers! Okay. How about June?
Okay. Ako.
Well,
Well, of
marami
course.
nang nainom si June.
No, hindi. Okay, but of course, first, I would like to cheers to that we're still alive, right? And still drinking good beer, right? Of course, right? And then
Correct.
second, cheers to my expansion, right? So soon we'll open. Siguro before end of the month we'll be opening. And then of course, cheers to all the brewers who's brewing their beer. All right, keep brewing good beer, good and great beers. And then yeah, I think that's about it. And cheers to Octoberfest.
Yes. Octoberfiesta of Resource
Yes,
World.
sorry.
Yes.
Yep.
Cheers. Hey, how about Keo?
Hey, yung toast ko, cheers to the workers in the industry, so mga manggagawa, workers, staffers, in bars and restaurants, front of house, kitchen, security guard, driver, delivery persons, working really hard right now. Cheers to guys like, Fred and June, keeping people employed also. It's hard out there. Um, so yeah, cheers to all everyone just working hard through really, really hard times.
Hmm. To our frontliners also, if like you're referring to all the workers, people who have dedicated so much effort during this time, challenging time of ours, right? Cheers. And Fred, who's your toast for?
Well, siguro I cannot match in length of cheers si Cherry. So I'll just I'll just keep it brief, no?
Hmm.
Um, I just want to raise my drink to everybody else who's been listening and viewing out there this evening. Cheers to enjoying the rest of the year, the holidays, and to everyone a better 2022. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the management, Resorts World Manila and Newport City. Thank you for making an event like this for us to enjoy virtually. Cheers to you guys. Okay, so that was there's really not no need to have a reason to celebrate. Simple things that is happening, the mere fact that June was mentioning that we're alive, these are already good reasons to celebrate, right? Nakaka-survive tayo for the past 2 years, no? Okay. Before we go towards the end of our show tonight, perhaps maybe some of you guys want to share or want to promote anything that is happening with your brewery, or probably with what's going on with the business of the beer distribution, the e-com site. Let's start with Kio.
Uh, yep. Hi. So,
What to look
Katipunan Craft.
forward? Yeah.
Yeah, Katipunan Craft is just recently sort of relaunched. So right now we have our Indio Pale Ale out. Um, in light of the situation, pandemic right now, people still aren't going out, but thanks to distributors like PCK, people are able to get you know their booze on the go. So thank you for that. We'll be coursing a lot of our product through them. So we're excited to have our kegs available through PCK and our beer at El Deposito. And we actually told with Fred at Boondock. So like I'm connected to all these guys right now. So thank you, all of you.
Then it's like that, they said, like it's collaboration, so it's more fun when it's done that way, right?
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah,
contact PCK if you want some Indio and contact June. Go to El Deposito if you can.
yeah,
And
Mm.
Sherry. If
also,
you Sherry, if you really look at it, we're all connected. It's like Fred offers his brewery to Katipunan. PCK selling their beer to us, and we sell this to our customers. We're all connected. Yeah,
Ano yun?
we're all happy.
In fact, na-connect ko nga yung Hyun Bin Beer sa inyo. Eh. Diba? Ang layo na nun! Sobrang layo nun. Sobrang detour talaga yon. Pero na-connect ko yun. No? Diba? Fred, anything going on with Boondocks Brewery?
Well, we continue to brew our four core beers, which are summer ale, the lightest one, wheat ale, session ale, which is our kind of a pale ale, and our strong ale, which is only for the bold. We continue to offer our services to those brewers out there who want to scale up their brews from a smaller size to having a lot more beer to sell to their fans. We're always open to collaborate with whoever is willing to put up with my obsessive compulsive nature sometimes. And yeah, I mean we do love to provide our beer in tap and keg format, but really we've come to embrace the fact that we are selling a lot of our beer retail directly or through our distributors like PCK, and we continue to keep on moving forward, and hopefully you guys will also move along forward with us.
Mm, right. We will all look forward to all the developments per brewery, no? And of course, June. Gusto ko sana
Yeah.
i-last June eh, pero si June sige na nga. Ikaw kasi co-host ko, dapat naging
Okay.
ini-interview kita.
But okay, we're actually inviting you guys to come over and visit our brewery here in San Juan called El Deposito Brewery. So if you're looking for Capitolio and Boondocks beer, we're actually serving it here. So we're actually a small microbrewery here in San Juan.
Hmm.
So and then we offer an outdoor space, and we're expanding. So yeah, come and visit us.
Sige, I'll bring my fangirls there. Pasara natin yan si El Deposito para for us. Okay. For Halloween. Oh, yan. And they're watching. They're also looking forward to that. JSL, Philippine Craft Kings, PCK.
All right. So, yeah, thanks everyone for joining. And thank you to Newport Mall for giving us an avenue to, let you try local craft. So, until the end of October, we actually have a promotion in cooperation with Octoberfiesta. So, if you go to our website, www.thepck.com, you can still enjoy a 10% discount on all of our items. So, if you miss draft beer, we do have draft beer available on the website as well in 3 liters and 5 liters. And if you guys want to try our variety packs, we have those as well. And if you want to try, a brewer for like from all over the Philippines, we have them available by the bottle. So yeah.
Talaga, it's ultimate beer, craft beer fix when you visit the PCK website. So also uh, we wanted to have someone from Resorts World Manila and Newport Mall to share to us what is happening, but I'll do it just the same. All the ones that I mentioned kanina. So they have this booze fair that is still available until the end of the month. It will be it's at the plaza of the Newport Mall, and then several hotels who have respective promos going on for the Octoberfest month. So please have a look at those sites that is being flashed right now. So medyo, of course, it's as a these places are what you call this super safe to go to, knowing that all the safety protocols are practiced. And if you are vaccinated, in fact, if you are vaccinated, you get 30% off discount on Resorts World Manila's signature outlets, food outlets. So that's a good reason to go out also, and go out, grab your beer, and then visit the Resorts World signature outlets. There's 2 more weeks or during the weekday, so visit kayo dyan, guys. Anyway, I'd like to thank those who watched also. They made this experience. It is my first time to do an inuman kind of a show. Most of the shows that we do are mostly for the fan club community, and some not really having any consumption of any beers. So it's great that you guys kept me company for tonight. Fred, Boondocks Brewing, thank you. Kio, Katipunan Craft Ales, June, El Deposito, and of course, Jazel, the Philippine Craft Kings. Nax yan. Mas fangirl ko pa sa akin. Gawin nyo nga to, kayong tatlo. Kaya ano ng powers nyo yan, right? Right. So spread the love, diba? Okay, thank you very much. Let's have a screenshot, guys, so we have a remembrance of like our event tonight. Papa-picture tayo para at least. Where's your beers? Para may toast tayo. This is screenshot natin. Yan. Kio, that's okay.
Wala ako.
Ganito ka na nga lang, sabi ko sa'yo. Talagang dito ka babagsak
Isa
eh.
lang ako.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Cheers! Okay. Alright. Kasi kapag malikot tayo, tapos nagsi-screenshot yung director, maraming gumagalaw. Kaya kailangan sabihin ko talaga na magpapa-screenshot ako para no one's moving. Okay, good evening to everybody. Thank you, Fred, once again. So you might go to the backstage now as I close the show. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
muna kayo sa watchers. Okay. Where's their overlay? Put the overlay there. There. Thank you. I had fun tonight. I want to thank them, June, Fred, Kio, and Jazel, for keeping me company in this virtual celebration of the Octoberfiesta 2021. I'm sure you guys miss the old times that we gather in huge venues. Where, like what I mentioned, there are about 80 different local brewers who come together to celebrate the Oktoberfest month, and then we allow you to have free flowing beers until you drop, and let you try like 500 styles in one evening. That will happen soon, God willingly, when this pandemic is over. So I hope you stay tuned. You continue to support the Philippine craft beer community. At the same time, the events that we do, Manilapreneur mounts the events festival for the Philippine craft beer community. Oktoberfiesta happens every month of October for Resorts World Manila. To those who watch us for the entire show, those who engage, shared their moments, their watching experience in this tonight's show. Thank you very much for staying with us on this virtual inuman. Okay, um, to people who are behind the group of Newport Mall, Newport City, at the same time Resorts World Manila. We have your names on the credits after the show. Thank you very much for also helping and coordinating all the things that we need to mount this virtual event of the MNL Beer Fest. Good night, everybody, and have a good weekend ahead. Bye!